the time they need to get something from you, be it the schools, be it the religious community, be it what, everyone. This is the time people are putting speech days. This is the time everyone is doing everything. This is the time you go to voters and they want something. So how would you finance your campaign? You've been here for 5 years. You've been earning salary. Yes, you've worked this and that, but it is time for you to know that you must have saved something to go back to the voters and talk to them. Remember, the law is clear. As much as they say there is no giving out this or that, but they allow you to give out a soda or meals. You have a campaign team. It has to move. You have a public address system. It has to move. You yourself have to move. So at the end of it all, you will spend a minimum of 2 million per day moving around. A minimum, because you have a public address system. It needs a vehicle. It needs a generator to move. You have your vehicle and you need fuel. You have your campaign team that moves 105 villages almost every day. They need a facilitation to move those villages. So even before you even look at the voter, you the person that is going to be in the campaign, Joseph, you need posters, you need flyers, you need the campaign material. You need a lot of things, so you need money. How do you finance it? You've been here working 5 years. You should go back and have that money to do that.
So if someone is planning,
the average should be around 500 to 1 billion shillings. That is the tentative average of a member of parliament. Because this money will go, like it or not, you will have to spend it. You have 105 villages, you could calculate a minimum of around 5 million per village. That is posters, your transport there and fro, the little facilitation during your meetings, your coordinators in that village, 10 or 20. By the time you make a calculation, you'll have around 5 million per. You'll have a minimum of around 5 million per village. So your budget should be between 500 and 1 billion shillings. But for those that have a better ground, like the NUP, like the NRM, that already have flags and their, populations are majorly those colors, you'll find that they don't need that much. Some people are just waiting for Kyagulanyi, and then Kyagulanyi will say, you vote this one. Those people will not need money. Okay, they might need money for a bit of materials, but they might not need money because take an example of Kampala. If Kampala is majorly red or majorly NUP, Kyagulanyi will come and give them a candidate and say, this is the person on the NUP ticket. It will take a very, very, very bright voter to know that I should vote a ticket candidate or someone more sober in the same position. That one will take more than just knowledge.
Can someone finance a campaign manager?
It is rare. It is rare. Even if you have a lot of money. You can... the problems of the voters range from 0 to infinity. So whatever amount of money you bring to the voters, they will take. 10 million will be enough, 20 million will be enough. Whatever you have, they will take. Because they have problems from 0 to infinity. So it is the way you run your campaign and the way you choose to finance your campaign depends majorly on the candidate himself. What you fund, what you don't fund. What you look at when budgeting and what you neglect. So you're the one that is supposed to come up with the priorities, the priorities you're going to fund in your campaign and with the ones you're not going to fund. Because during this time, people will tell you, we want boreholes. They'll tell you, we have this, we want that. Well, will you fund all of that? You have to come up and tell them, you know what? Even by law, I'm not supposed to fund these things at this particular time. But if you didn't do them during the term of office, then other than that, voters should also know that we have 8 months to the end of the of this term. So you should not be on pressure to spend when you have 8 months to finish what you promised. Different communities have different demands. Some communities demand just somebody that has gone to school and has integrity. Other communities demand money. We have visited some we have visited some constituencies of some friends where they have to line up people and give them money. Other communities, you go and explain what you have done during the term. So maybe this particular person does not have money, but they have spent the rest of their money during the term on the voters. So today is just a time to go back and remind them. But other than that, if you're coming from a community that needs money, even the voters themselves, there is a voter that will understand government services. There is a voter that will want to be seen individually. There is a voter that just wants you to go to their home and say hello. There is a voter that is excited even when you're at a distance. There is a voter that will vote you because you are a church member. There is another that will vote you because you love sports. You know, voters differ. That's why I said their demands are from 0 to infinity. So it's up to you to know the constituencies, the different constituencies that you're manning, and then you treat them accordingly.
There are some MPs who have saved money for campaigns. And some people have been saving money for campaigns. 2, the party will contribute. The party will belong to. 3, I don't advise members of parliament to borrow money to go for campaigns. The reason is simple. You are going in a game which you are not sure and uncertain. So really be cautious of what you are going for. The moment you go to money lenders, you mortgage your property. When you lose and you don't have a fallback position, it's the worst. I don't advise members to borrow money to go for campaigns.
From the experience you have gathered in these corridors?
Of course, it's a probability. It depends how somebody assesses her constituency or his constituency to know really how it will go through. But in areas where the parties are very strong, I think it's automatic. Those members of parliament will come. But where they are not sure, that's a probability.
So you can take the flag at the bank?
Who can take a flag to the bank and they pay you money, depending on what?
This is a collateral.
No, it can't be a collateral.
People are going there to get some funding.
I don't know the finance institutions, no, because by the time you go to borrow, they must know your position to pay, whether you'll be able to pay, and even what mortgage have you put there. And really, I do think that those who have the muscle, there are some people who have assets. They can borrow, but for me, my simple advice with my experience, we are going into a game of gambling. You might lose, you might win.
How much?
Well, it depends, but roughly, from primaries to national elections, you must spend more than 600 million, minimally. You must spend more than 600 million. Because moving from the campaigns last May, this May, up to January, it's quite an expensive exercise.
What are those areas that require priority funding?
No, of course, logistics only. Vehicles, fuel, posters. Really, those are very expensive because each a poster, T-shirts, each a poster is almost 8,000. Some have 1,000. Some go for these billboards. You know, it depends on the capacity of an individual.
Is there a need for a stricter law on campaign finance?
Just imagine if a constituency MP is talking about 1 billion to win an election. Now, what about me who has 3 constituencies? That means I need the 3 billion. Who can afford that money? It goes back to what I told you. An election is far away from how much money you have to invest in the constituency or in the voters. The message you have, the services you've rendered, because some of us before joining politics, we served our communities under various capacities. I was a bank manager in Centenary. I served the most vulnerable in Busoga sub-region, the whole of Busoga. I was in Jinja, I was in Iganga. So when I came up to contest, people saw me as somebody who will always stand by the most vulnerable person, to stand for their rights and service delivery.
And finally, the husbands, the spouse.
Honestly, the support from the family is very crucial. That's why sometimes even we go to contest, people ask you, who is your husband, who is your father, who is your mother. So the house, the strength of your home background contributes a lot. It's not necessarily the finances, but if you have a solid husband who relates well with the community, a parent, it contributes a lot to your being a member of parliament or a leader at whatever level.
Thank you so much.